Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? You guys doing good too? I'm doing good. Let's get on today's video session. Here we go. Dun, 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 tsh, dun, tsh, dun, dun, tsh, dun, dun, tsh, 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 dun, tsh. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Oh yeah, Streets of Rage. Music Victoria's back. Whoa, man, I can't help myself. Come on, man. You're the Kazorian Apples. Come on, cool. Yeah. Okay. That was cool. So, today's discussion is about on the SNK Neo Geo 3. But this time, it's not like a no update. Okay, it's no update this time. It's about, I'm concerned about the articles saying about if the SNK Neo Geo 3 can compete against Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. This is a very serious situation, yeah? Because we know the Sony and Microsoft systems are not even selling so well. Okay? This is the first time it's ever happened. If we look at the other way around, Nintendo Switch. Now the Nintendo Switch is not competing against Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. Before we go through all this, understand this very carefully. Nintendo Switch and SNK Neo Geo 3 both are not competing against Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. It's true. It's not. But does that mean the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X can beat them in terms of sales on the market? No, it doesn't. Even these two companies, like from Nintendo and SNK, do not compete. Does that mean they're in a weaker stand against them two machines from Sony and Microsoft? No, it's not true. If we look at it very carefully from Nintendo side, Nintendo Switch, right? I don't know what to say about it. It's a killer machine. What do you mean by a killer machine? What it's doing? We gotta understand that the Nintendo Switch has three styles of play. Yeah, three modes: handheld, tabletop, and TV. But if you look at it this way, right? If we just had these three modes and we didn't have any good games, would the system sell? Because every single console that comes out, what's important for them? The games. It's just a gaming machine, isn't it? Really? It doesn't matter what kind of style of play it has. Now, if your system has really good games on it, people are gonna go out there and buy it. Yeah? It's simple as that. Now, Nintendo Switch, The two consoles it went before was Sony PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Xbox One. Do you remember them? They're still on the market, probably are. They're not that popular as they were before, but at that time they were. The Microsoft Xbox One was selling worse than the Sony PlayStation 4. It was struggling. We know that. Okay? Now, in terms of Nintendo, Nintendo had a system called Wii U. And Wii U had its own problems. Yeah? I'm not going to go through all these problems that Nintendo Wii U actually had. But the problems they had, it wasn't doing so well. So Nintendo Wii U had the same design like Nintendo Wii. Then he had an upgrade control pad called the gamepad, which if somebody's watching a television, you can have your console connected to that same TV, and then even your console. If somebody's watching television, they can watch their drama or a film, and you could still enjoy your Wii U game and stream it to the Wii U gamepad. That's what the Nintendo Wii U was all about. But the problem with Nintendo Wii U was that we had the original called Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii, and then we had Nintendo Wii U. The name's wrong. People just think they use upgrade to the Nintendo Wii, just giving an upgrade game controller, which was a gamepad. People was well confused, and nobody knew that it was even released on the market. It was released back in 2012 anyway. Nobody knew, so it flopped. Now, Nintendo Wii U was competing against Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X, in a way. It was. But the Nintendo Switch, it's not. Because Nintendo Switch, almost, is a handheld device. And the handheld device gives you tabletop and TV experiences. That's what it does. With very, very good quality games. It did good rounds. Now, Nintendo Wii U was struggling against the Sony PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Xbox One. Nintendo company thought of this. They knew that the handheld systems were really popular. Yeah? From Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS. They're all popular systems, aren't they? Including the Game Boy Color, and whatever. Then Game Boy Advance, DS. All of these systems were popular, so they decided to make a system called Nintendo Switch into a handheld device, because the handheld devices are popular, and they used home console games on there in a handheld device. That's never happened before by any company really. So what this company did, we produced a handheld machine having home game consoles on games on there. And this idea became really popular on it. Yeah. It became popular because of the handheld having a home games console having real games. That's why it became popular. And the other two modes is up to a person if you want to use the tabletop and TV. But it really was a handheld mode. Because at that time, when it was launched, people bought it as a handheld gaming device. Well, that's what it was, a mobile device, wasn't it really? And stuff like that. With a docking station, you could connect it to a television and stuff like that. It was doing very exciting things like that. Now, the handheld device having proper console games made it really popular. Not only that, it brought us really exciting games. And this whole idea actually worked. Because Nintendo handheld systems are popular. That's what it was. That wasn't the same thing as Nintendo Switch. And he made it popular. Wow, the idea actually worked. Obviously, the Microsoft Xbox One was already struggling. The struggle mode carried on with that system. And then Obviously, month by month, Nintendo Switch start beating the Sony PlayStation 4. It start beating both of these consoles, Sony PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Xbox One. Now, understand this. Nintendo Switch was not competing against Sony PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Xbox One. Nope, it wasn't. But automatically, more sales were going towards Nintendo Switch. It was selling better. Now, does a console really need to compete? Now, in terms of Nintendo Switch, it became popular. Didn't it? Incredible. The Sony and the Microsoft machines like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were struggling against Nintendo Switch, man. And they couldn't just beat it, man. Nintendo Switch was becoming really, really popular. And it became the definite console for the market. And lots of gamers enjoyed it. There's lots of good games on the system, really, isn't it? I think at the start, it was Mario Kart 8 and Zelda Breath of the Wild. It was these two games, man. These two games, man, made this console really popular, man. Just two games, man. Made it so popular. See, even it's a handheld device. With these two games, the console became exciting. There you go. That's how it did it. And then eventually started releasing more games from Nintendo, and then, it started becoming even more popular. Now, this momentum carried on. Yeah, to further on. Before we get in that, let's check some music out. You're gonna get further information, yeah? It's still Nintendo Switch going on, yeah? It's rock and roll music today, man. What's happening today? Yo. Okay, so it still carried on. So obviously, Sony and Microsoft wanted to change all this. So what they did, they released a new console called the PS5 and Xbox Series X. These two machines came out, and then when these two machines were launched, still, yeah, they did do some rounds at start, but again, Nintendo Switch came like a rocket. Woohoo! It did it again. The company did it again. Nintendo Switch is a vibe, and again, it beated it again and again. Even the Sony PS5, Xbox Series X. If we look at the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X, these are selling worse than the previous Sony PS4 and Xbox One. They're even worse as sellers than them. It's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse day by day. The sales what they had, they were average, whatever they were. The medium, they were pretty good on Sony PS4, and then Xbox One was kind of like average or something like that. But their two new games console, PS5 and Xbox Series X, is performing even worse. And with Nintendo releasing their new system on 8th October, Nintendo Switch QLED. something like OLED or something like that. OLED machine came out. Was it QLED or something like that? Something like that. I can't remember what it was. Getting confused with the Panasonic televisions. Yeah, and I think it's OLED, something like that, yeah. They released that new system. And this new system was the same hardware again, but it gave us new features. Yeah, we know what the new features were. And adding with the new features, the display, some of the games look really, really good on it. And look, with all the features and some of the games looking really, really better, everything looked really shiny for Nintendo Switch. This system's selling even better than the one we had previously. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It went even worse. It went even better than the previous Nintendo Switch machine. Now, the way the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X is continuing, I'm telling you right now, Microsoft Xbox Series X is doing really worse. It's doing really worse. He gave us loads of features, loads of changes from the previous console, a lot of different things it can do. The retail, again, on the CDs. He gives a digital console and the one with the drive. Both of them are doing well. Nothing's working for Microsoft. This machine is becoming a dump. If this carries on, the Microsoft Xbox Series X will be finished. It's finishing right now. Every single game that's getting produced on it is performing terrible. Terrible sales. It's not doing any business. It's just absolutely rubbish. And then when we look at the Microsoft Xbox Series X, it's worse. The Sony PS5 is selling a little bit better. But is that sales enough? Is that good enough? No. It's rubbish. The Sony PS5 is struggling as well. It might be better than Microsoft Xbox Series X. It's better than that. But it's still not good. Every single region, the Nintendo Switch OLED is destroying the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. And the machines I'm competing against them. Can you see how it's working? You don't need to compete. You got these systems on the market. The one sells the most wins the competition. That's how it works. You don't need to compete. Nintendo didn't compete at both of them. No. Nintendo didn't compete with Sony PS4 and Microsoft Xbox One. Beat him there. And now Nintendo didn't compete with Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. Beat him again. And what? See that? The whole, you don't need to compete. Now, if we look at the SNK Neo Geo 3, this is the second of the systems that won't be competing with Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. And also understand about Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch has the ability to play old games consoles as well. You know, NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. All sorts of machines are old machines. They're all in there. Now the SNK Neo Geo 3 has a similar prospect, just like that. Now we know Sony and Microsoft systems are struggling right now, yeah? Now this makes a great opportunity for the SNK Neo Geo 3. Even it's not competing, it's going to do really well on the market. When this new machine comes out, because everybody knows that is a legendary game developer. If you remember the SNK Neo Geo Mini, it came with 40 legendary games, or probably even more than that. And the SNK Neo Geo Mini became popular. Now can you see what's going on? Now a lot of people are taking interest in SNK. And this system became popular. Okay, it might be because of that. It's one of the mini consoles. And it was like 14 games, a bit more in there. And that's why it became popular. I don't think it's that, because is not only just that. This is a legendary. They produce legendary arcade cabinets, and we got home consoles on them, like the SNK Neo Geo AS, SNK Neo Geo CD, SNK Neo Geo CD Z. They made the same arcade cabinet games onto these 3 games consoles, and then after that they produced an SNK Neo Geo Mini, and Neo Geo Mini became a success. Yeah. Now with SNK Neo Geo 3, the old games like King of Fighters 94, King of Fighters 95, Metal Slug 1 and 2, Blazing Star, Polestar, Samurai Showdown 1, 2, and 3, whatever. These are old games like by SNK. They're very popular games, yeah? These, you will able to buy these games or the SNK Neo Geo 3. They'll be on there. And on top of that, you're going to get new games. Yeah? This is a similar style what Nintendo Switch is doing. Now, you probably think Nintendo Switch is a bit different. Because Nintendo Switch, first of all, is a mobile device. It's a handheld device. Then it is tabletop and TV. But still, SNK Neo Geo 3 does have a handheld. I would say the handheld is the SNK Neo Geo Mini. I would say that. You'll get that handheld experience from that system. And then you can have a home console experience with SNK Neo Geo 3. You connect both of them, you get a great experience. You got a handheld and a home console. Yeah? So you have to buy 2 systems to do that though. Instead of doing it one like Nintendo Switch, which is different. SNK Neo Geo 3 will be really popular. This system doesn't need to compete. Automatically, when it comes on the market, when people will see the third home games console on the market, people are going to gaze at it. They're going to start looking at it. And they're going to see, oh, it's a new system on the market. And when they're going to see this new system on the market, they will look at the design, the game controller, probably if there are any accessories on the launch of whatever, and the games which are available on it. Yeah? That's the thing, yeah? I wonder how will they mix up the old games and the new games. Maybe it's going to be like this. It will be digital downloads for the old games, and you probably could buy the games on discs from the shelves. Yeah. If this system comes exciting to the customers, it's gonna be popular. Trust me, it's gonna be popular. The way I'm looking at it, the whole success of Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X is going down. It's failing. It's failing, yeah. Nintendo Switch is, wiping them out. When the SNK Neo Geo 3 comes out, goes on the market, it's going to put a great impact. It's going to make it even worse. It's going to make it worse. Nintendo Switch is already doing it. And SNK Neo Geo 3 comes on the market, right? And it might be that the customers start liking SNK Neo Geo 3 more than them 2 machines. Because it's a different brand that we haven't seen for a long time on the market. And a lot of the consumers might give it a chance to that system. I've got a very strong glimpse about the SNK Neo Geo 3. If you look at the multi-format right now, Samurai Showdown and King Wars 15 has been successful games. If they release these 2 games on launch, this will show a great impact on the system. And I think lots of people will buy it. Especially these games are SNKs. Having an SNK system and having the SNK games on there will make it very popular. Indeed. It's going to be something really, really special. Even they are multi-format. These two games are. These two games eventually will be picked up on SNK's games console. This is going to be really, really a very, very devastating thing, I'm telling you. This competing thing is going to be done automatically. SNK doesn't need to compete against Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox. It's going to be done automatically. If people start liking this machine more, it's going to start beating it. And the power inside the hardware inside this machine, I think is better than Nintendo Switch, you know. But right now, the way I'm looking at it, it's going to be quite good. The SNK Neo Geo 3 will be more powerful than Nintendo Switch. Yeah. If they till they don't probably release the Nintendo Switch Pro probably. Now, one thing is not confirmed even by me yet, which I can't confirm. Is the SNK Neo Geo 3 going to be 1080p HD? Or 4K resolutions? What is it going to be on the television? That's a big question. If the SNK Neo Geo 3 becomes 4K, I'm going to be very surprised. That's going to be really massive if that happens. I think rather going for 1080p, SNK should go for 4K. They should ignore the 1080p thing. They shouldn't bother with that. For the new games, definitely they need to go on 4K. Do not make this mistake SNK going on 1080p. You'll make a big mistake. Because you gotta understand that Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X, they're on 4K. Alright? With the Nintendo Switch, obviously it's a mobile device. On screen it's 720p HD. And on the television it's 1080p HD, isn't it? Because it's a mobile device. It can't go up to 4K straight away, can it? They need to learn the technology in order for them to go to 4K, which is taking them time, which they will do with the Nintendo Switch Pro anyway. If the SNK Neo Geo 3 comes out to be a 4K system, it's going to be very big. It's going to be very big, this is. I mean, it would be interesting, right? What kind of things, SNK Neo Geo 3D, SNK Neo Geo 3 should have. I'll be confirming that in my next video. What I think that should be in that system. But right now, Nintendo Switch, which didn't compete with any of Sony and Microsoft systems, it surpassed them. Now with SNK Neo Geo 3, this can be the same story, right? What happened with Nintendo Switch? If SNK Neo Geo 3 can make a really amazing looking design that can attract people, can pull them, because sometimes the design on its own can make you buy the system. Yeah, some people buy the system for the design as well. Yeah, there's all sorts of things in a games console: design, features, hardware, and what kind of driver it will have. The ports, obviously, ports at the front for your game controllers, and what kind of ports will be at the back, and stuff like that. So this is going to be really, really exciting. Already, the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X is struggling. Bringing another system on the market, I guess in SNK Neo Geo 3, is going to put a great impact. If I'm not wrong, if this system proves to be a success, SNK Neo Geo 3, this public can and these two Sony Microsoft systems, they're already struggling big time. If the SNK Neo Geo 3 can do something really big to these systems, it'll be really massive. It'll be really massive. What this system really can do. Competing is not important. Is supplying customers' demands. If SNK can understand that, truly, it doesn't look like Sony or Microsoft understand that. They haven't, have they? That's why they're not doing so well. If SNK can win over the customers or consumers, then definitely this system will be really popular on the market as a true home games console. Yeah, it'll be really, really popular. I'll tell you that straight right now. They need to look at this in a very serious situation. What are the customers really looking for? A lot of customers, I would say, are looking for old games. Now, if you look at the mini game consoles, they've proven to be very popular. And this is proving that old games are really popular. They're classics, aren't they? And the SNK Neo Geo games pocket cabinets are massive classics. And having them on SNK Neo Geo 3 will prove them to be a great success. And putting them top of latest new games, it's going to be really interesting to have that. The design, controllers, arcade sticks, and the hardware is what is going to make this thing really exciting. And the Wi-Fi symbol that has been talked about. What is all that about? What other things can SNK give us? I mean, they're saying that it's got a different gaming experience to this system. Can this system be that definite games console for the market that people are waiting for? I think that definite games console from Sony PS5, and Xbox Series X hasn't been successful. No, it hasn't been. It's definitely not one of them. These two consoles is not one of them. Can SNK actually do that? What the Sony and Microsoft system is going to do? Only in time will tell. But I believe in that Nintendo and SNK can be really massive consoles, on the market. They can be, And it can be that in the end, Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X, they might be just finished. They might not be there anymore. They're not doing so well, are they? It's going to be a great, great story and impact, yeah? Yes, I can Neo Geo 3 coming out to the market. This is going to be really massive. I want to see this whole interesting game. How it's going to shape up to be. You see, when more information comes on the SNK Neo Geo 3, this is when more people are going to get excited and interested in this SNK Neo Geo 3 games console. Yeah. But people have high hopes for this system. That's why loads of people are already taking part in this new system. I think they are kind of fed up with the Sony Microsoft systems. Yeah, they're fed up with them. Not many people want to support them anymore. They just don't buy them. They just don't want to buy them anymore. The Nintendo Switch looks like the games console that's doing the rounds. But even if you look at Nintendo Switch is releasing games from Nintendo GameCube. Nintendo Switch doesn't have that many games now. So they are taking some games on Nintendo GameCube. I mean, Nintendo GameCube had one of the finest games I have ever seen. No joke. That's why the Panasonic Q games console is a very interesting system to buy as well. Yeah, it's a very interesting system to buy of the Panasonic features, and Nintendo GameCube being one of the best games console ever in terms of gaming. Yeah, it's very interesting system, man. Each game they used to produce on that, it was really good. So Nintendo Switch becoming popular, even it wasn't competing against Sony and Microsoft systems. And SNK Neo Geo 3 is doing the same thing. He's not competing against Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. Check this show out, man. This is gonna be one hell of a show, man. From Nintendo and SNK. They look definite companies to dominate the gaming industry. Believe me on that. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed my video today about the competing with the big boys, Sony and Microsoft, which are already losing dramatically. They really sales are going really low, really fast. Every game which is producing on Sony and Microsoft is flopping. It's flopping every single game. And all the big games are flopping on them. And some of these big games that come on Nintendo Switch to become big. It's weird, isn't it? And the systems are competing with them. And it's kicked the crap out of them. Come on, SNK. It's your turn now. You have the definite home games console called SNK Neo Geo 3. It's your chance. If you're not competing against them, you can still beat them. If you got everything right, and you can give the demands of the customers, you'll easily win this game. Yeah, it's your chance. Good luck. So there you have it. I hope you like my information today. Give me a likes, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.